context of what is happening, particularly in South Africa, we find ourselves in a, should I say, a more similar position to what led to the birth of Bulawayo Project Center, which is trying to make sure that our countrymen have access to vocational skills so that they are able to have sustainable livelihoods. As Bulawayo Project Center, we have a number of services that we can offer, that we are offering, both to those that are returning from South Africa and those that are already here.
Good morning. Thanks for having us. My name is Tishafa Chiramba. I am the Programs, Partnerships and Communications Officer for Bulawayo Project Center. I am with my colleague. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Pleasant morning. My name is Edmo Moyo. I'm the hub manager for Thorncroft branch, which is in Thorncroft, Bulawayo.
Okay. So I'm going to talk briefly about the background of Bulawayo Project Center. Bulawayo Project Center was founded in 1993 as a project of the churches in Bulawayo, responding to the unemployment crisis that happened in the early 90s, 1993 thereabouts, as a result of the economic structural adjustment program that happened then, which meant to cut down on government expenditure. And the subsequent consequences were that a lot of people lost their jobs. And because of that, a lot of families found themselves on the streets without any accommodations and means for livelihoods. So churches in Bulawayo came together and came up with a way to provide food relief to the people that were now living on the streets, and making sure that they are given other requirements like blankets and everything. But over the passage of time, because there was no coordination of what was happening, it was actually realized that there was a problem where fed at all. So the churches came together and decided to coordinate their efforts to make sure that everyone was equally catered for. So because of that, they also realized that there was no sustainability to what was happening, because if you give someone food today, tomorrow they're hungry again and you have to feed them again. So the churches in Bulawayo decided to then establish, number one, a place where these people would be housed so that they have actual accommodation where they would stay. And then as a consequence, they established a place that's known as Bulawayo Shelter in Thorncroft. Bulawayo Shelter became a place where these displaced families could stay and be provided with food while they were there. But over the passage of time, it was also noted that, as I've already alluded to the fact that providing food relief is itself not sustainable. So the churches realized that they had to do something more than just providing food. Therefore, they established a project's arm right under Shelter, where these people would be provided with skills that would allow them to work, self-employ, and generate incomes that would then sustain their families. So this is where the project's aspect comes in, and the project side of Bulawayo Shelter was then initiated on the northern side of Bulawayo Shelter, which is today, which is where Bulawayo Project Center is located today. So the individuals in question started receiving training, right, in various trades, such as carpentry, motor mechanics, welding, hairdressing, beauty therapy, and many others, so that they will be able to generate an income and sustain their families. So eventually, Bulawayo Project Center was then registered as an organization to function focusing specifically on skills development and micro enterprise development. So over the passage of time, Bulawayo Project Center was able to establish a number of hubs within the city of Bulawayo, starting at Thorn Grove, right, which is the head office. Thorn Grove is at the corner of Station Road and Candelabra Road, next to the hospital. And then they established another center in Keta, diagonally across from Agape. Another one in Jube, former John Dube Center, and then another one at Cowdrey Park. So we also are in the process of establishing another one in the industrial area of Donington, where working with Council, Bulawayo Project Center is repurposing a beer garden to become a skills center and an incubation center, where that work of training the community in employability and in skills development is actually done. When speaking of the courses themselves, the long courses usually take around 4 to 6 months, depending with the trade. But of course, after those 6 months, we expect the participants to go for industrial attachment so that they can get on-the-job training to equip them with the realities in industry, so that they are able to actually become employable. But of course, there's also the pathway for those who want to actually self-employ. By going to industry, they also gain the kind of skills that are required by industry in response to market requirements and the standard of goods that they should produce to be competitive. So roughly that attachment itself is anything between 6 to 9 months, depending also with the trade. But maybe let me also just allude to some of the churches that were involved in the formation of Bulawayo Project Center. There were quite a number of them, of which I know that some of those included Baptist Church, the Presbyterian Church, and quite a number of the old churches that were there at the time in Bulawayo. So, but that's the summary, I think, of the background to where Bulawayo Project Center is coming from. But maybe more importantly, it's also important to state that whereas we do have a youth bias, we are still open to any member of the community who would want to gain skills, right, for self-employment, to generate income and sustain their families, that they are free to come and also train. Over the passage of years, we've actually implemented quite a number of projects in which we have worked with different partners. I'm going to talk about one. Maybe my colleague Ed Moore is going to talk about one other a huge program that we've just recently been involved with. But maybe currently we're actually running a project that's known as the Access Project. The Access Project is a project that we are doing with a funding partner, right, from Germany, where we are equipping up to around 90 young people, right, with skills in various trades, so that they can become employable, so that they can also, for those who choose to follow the same self-employment pathway, create their own jobs and generate income to help their families. So this project also understands, for one, that it's very hard for young people to establish companies and start actually being productive. So we've got a multi-stakeholder platform that we also initiate. We've actually done a second of the three in the previous week, where we bring together fintech institutions, banks, so as to talk about the various financial products that they have that can borrow money to young people to actually be able to start their own businesses. Yet we also understand that there are regulatory issues that young people also need to understand. You remember that recently the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority is on a drive to make sure that all businesses are registered and with them, as well as the registrar of companies. So we would want our young people to also regularize themselves with those governmental institutions so that they operate at a professional level where they are not afraid of anything because they are compliant with the deeds office and also with ZIMRA. So we bring these stakeholders together as well as other CSOs and community members and youths that are under the various projects that we've done as Bulawayo Project Center and other projects as well that are not necessarily within the umbrella of projects that are done by Bulawayo Project Center, but they target youths who are in business so that they can get to understand all these requirements so that they meet them. So let me ask my colleague to expand further on the issue that probably is the main hot topic currently, the issue of returnees from South Africa and what Bulawayo Project Center is offering to try and alleviate the situation that our countrymen are going through as a consequence of what's happening currently in South Africa where they've been living and working.
So basically, in the context of what is happening, particularly in South Africa, we find ourselves in a, should I say, a more similar position to what led to the birth of our Bulawayo Project Center, which is trying to make sure that our countrymen have access to vocational skills so that they are able to have sustainable livelihoods. As Bulawayo Project Center, we have a number of services that we can offer, that we are offering, both to those that are returning from South Africa and those that are already here. Maybe let us first of all start by classifying those that are returning from South Africa. Number one, we have whom we term the skilled personnel. They might have left the country with a skill to South Africa to seek employment. Or they might have acquired skills whilst they were working in South Africa. Now they are returning home. Number two, we have what we call semi-skilled artisans. They might have acquired skills whilst they are in South Africa, but due to this current situation they are in, they have to come back home without having fully qualified. And then lastly, we have the group that we might term as the unskilled. They don't have a skill at all, and they want to come and fit into the situation, to the current setup here in Zimbabwe. And the major question is, what am I going to do home? So Bulawayo Project Center is coming in to answer the question, to say, what exactly can you do? So we have a number of services that we can offer. For the first group and the second group, we have what we call incubation services, business incubation, where we are saying the facilities that we have in Juve, in Country Park, in Thorngrove, in Donington, in Kunzi, they are open for the ones that have skills and they would like to start up or like to do their business here in Zimbabwe. The spaces are there, for example, in Nkunzi, which is a new hub. We are saying they can have a membership for a period which is maybe more than a month, where they will be incubated for their services, as well as assisting them in terms of how to regularize their businesses. And most importantly, one will say, I have a skill, but I don't have a certificate to confirm that I am an artisan in a particular trade. With the Bulawayo Project Center, we're saying we can assist in terms of the certification, as well as the testing, or should I say trade testing, to confirm that one is indeed particularly an artisan in that trade. And then we have those that don't have skills at all. We're saying we have a number of courses that they can enroll. Just like my colleague has said, that we have courses that range from 4 months to 6 months in class, as well as then one can go for attachment. But we can then now tailor-make these courses to fit one's needs. Maybe one will say, I would like to have a short course. Maybe let's say I want a 1 month course. We also have that type of service at Bulawayo Project Center. Our courses differ in terms of pricing. For example, our certification fee ranges from $10, and on attachment, one would pay at least $30, which is an attachment fee. Per month, each course costs at least $50, and $10 as a registration fee. This is the conventional, our standard pricing that we have for our courses. But like I said, our courses are tailor-made to fit the needs of the clients that we are having. So for the retainees that are coming from South Africa, we're saying the question as to what am I going to do is that Bulawayo Project Center is the point of reference for vocational as well as business incubation.
Yeah, if I may just add to what my colleague has already spoken about. He spoke about the work that we are doing at Nkunzi, which we are repurposing to become an incubation center and a business hub. We already have a running project where we've tailor-made it such that those locals who want to operate their businesses there are going to be given an opportunity to set up their businesses without paying anything for the initial first month. So, but we also understand that those are coming from South Africa are probably in a very hard place right now, and we're actually trying to tailor a much more favorable arrangement with them, given that we're already offering something for free for the locals for the first month. So in the process of actually sitting down on the drawing board and seeing what can actually be done for the retainees so that they're able to actually set up their businesses, because we do feel that locals might find it very easy to do so. But someone who's coming from elsewhere might need a little bit more time to actually be able to set up their businesses. So we're actually going to be offering a package that is suitable for that particular group because of their circumstances that are slightly difficult than those who are already in the country. I think it also goes for the courses and for the certification at more, where we are saying that if you already have a skill, but you want a certificate to authenticate that you know the trade that you are in, we also want to tailor a process whereby we assess that you actually have that particular skill, isn't it, before we can certificate you, because we want everything to be authentic. That when you produce a Bulawayo Project Center certificate, it is because you have been proven to actually be well versed with the area or trade that you are in. So we're going to make assessments, practical examinations for those individuals to make sure that the trade that they claim to be in, they are actually in it and they know that particular trade, so that they're able to offer their services in a manner that aligns with our expectations as the training institution. I think that also goes as well for the skills training for that particular group as well. I do not think that for the first few months we're going to be asking of them the same kind of things, as it were, that we're asking from the locals, because we do feel they are very vulnerable. They've gone through a lot of difficult situations where they may have actually spent quite a lot of money to repatriate themselves back to Zimbabwe. So we will tailor something that actually suits their pockets, their situations, and so on and so on.
So our incubation, business incubation model works like this. Its aim is to target micro enterprises so that they are able to compete out there in the market. The micro enterprises I'm talking about are those, one would call them small or upcoming businesses, so that they are able to produce what's needed out there in the market. We have a number of big players out there in the market. The idea is that we need the micro enterprises to be able to step into the global market out there. We have, for example, Nkunzi, a hub which has got a state-of-the-art machinery. This is part of the goals of the incubation model, to have micro enterprises having access to machinery, having access to digital skills, having access as well as to business trainings, and also to have their businesses regularized so that they meet, let's say, for example, ZIMRA standards, as well as formalizing their businesses instead of doing business in an informal way. So we are saying that the business incubation model is specifically fit mainly for those that are returning from South Africa. In case they don't have a machinery, they are able to at least do their work in a more fashionable manner. And in terms of our contacts, I would say that for the Thorn Grove part, reachable on phone number 0773 54 62 64. And my email address is edmo@projectcenter.org.
All right. So I am more of an at-large sort of person because as Edmo has already said, that is responsible for the hub. My work is over all the hubs that Bulawayo Project Center does. Is I've already said that I'm responsible for partnerships, programs, and communications. So maybe before I give you my details as well, I just wanted to encourage all stakeholders outside there to come and partner with Bulawayo Project Center. This may include corporates, other CSOs, to partner with us to make sure that we reach out to these individuals who, without our assistance, might find themselves in a very difficult position in terms of sustaining their families. So we are also appealing to churches to come through because primarily we are an organization that was founded by churches. So we cannot operate outside of churches. We really would like them to be involved even deeper in what we do because we owe our allegiance and our foundation to them. So I would say for me, Edmo, that's an important area altogether. I don't know what other issues maybe you might just want to emphasize on, but maybe before you do, let me just also give you my contact details. My name is Tichava Chiramba, as I've already said. My phone number is 0772 525 114. My email address is TICH @projectcenter.org. Our center is the British spelled one, CENTRE, not the American one. So that's my email address. Over to you, Edmo.
Yeah, maybe just to say that for those that are returning from South Africa, Bulawayo Project Center is open for any other support, particularly in terms of vocational training and business support. We have an array of services, just like we have alluded to. The question to say, what am I going to do home, I think can be best answered if you visit one of our offices or our branches that we have mentioned.
I think also let me just say that we are available on Facebook. That's where we show a lot of showcase a lot of the work that we do. If one just goes into Facebook and Google Bulawayo Project Center, our page will certainly pop up, and they can see all the various projects that we are doing in the community. We're also on LinkedIn via the same name. So please follow us, understand even better and more of what we do, and find something that you really aspire to be and to do, and do come and be a part of us. For the youth out there, we encourage you, don't sit down and do nothing. When you sit down and do nothing, that's where a lot of issues emanate from, including issues of mental health and drug and substance abuse. But if you come to Bulawayo Project Center and become a part of the work that we are doing, chances are very high that you might actually find yourself succeeding and working either as an employee somewhere, or actually doing your own work, because we've got lots of young people who are now independent and doing their own work, and we are very happy and glad that they were able to come through our doors, because some of them have actually become employers of their own peers that are coming through the gates of Flower Project Center. So please do come and let's find something that you can do rather than sit down and do nothing.